So we are talking about the ocean cleanup, and our experiment is floating a grape. The ocean cleanup makes inventions to clean up oceans. The ocean cleanup also has an invention that cleans up trash in rivers so that it doesn't flow into the ocean. The water in oceans is salt water, and the water in rivers is fresh water. The particles in a cup of salt water are closer together and more concentrated than they are in a cup of fresh water. So we say salt water is more dense than fresh water. The more dense the water is, the more likely that it will support things put into it and make things float in it. So what do we know? We know the ocean cleanup makes inventions to clean up oceans. We know the water in oceans is salt water. We know salt water is more dense than fresh water, and we know salt water can make things float. So the question that we ask is, how much salt will make a grape float in a cup of water? Will it take 2 tablespoons? 4 tablespoons? 6 tablespoons? Or more? So for our experiment, we need warm water, 2 tall clear cups, 2 grapes, a pencil, the floating grape chart, a tablespoon, salt, and a stirring spoon. So we start out with our warm water in 2 cups. We put 1 grape into 1 cup, and what happened to the grape? Did it float or did it sink without any salt in it? We see that it sank clear to the bottom. So now we are going to add salt to the other cup of water. We are going to start by adding 2 tablespoons of salt. There's 1 and there is 2. We're going to stir it up with our spoon. And then we are going to put a grape in. So there's our grape. What happened to our grape with 2 tablespoons of salt in it? We see that it floated. We only needed 2 tablespoons of salt. So which water made the grape float best? The fresh water, the salt water, or was it the same? So the water that made the grape float best was the salt water, so we circled salt water. How much salt made the grape float near the top? 2 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons, or more? Took 2 tablespoons, so we circled 2 tablespoons. So was your guess correct? Yes or no? Did you guess it would only take 2 tablespoons of salt? I have to say my guess was incorrect. I thought it would take at least 6 tablespoons and maybe even more. So salt water is more dense and makes things float. And we know that the ocean cleanup is doing a great job in cleaning up the oceans and the rivers.